It's time for America Outdoors Radio. The fast-paced hour of outdoors radio ahead is not only awesome, but unlike those other shows, you can actually sleep in for this one. Better still, we've got a special Pacific Northwest edition for you, sponsored by Northwest Sportsman Magazine. You won't find this version of America Outdoors Radio anywhere else. It's the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio. Brought to you by Fox Sports 1380 KRKO.
Welcome to the show. All of our listeners in the North Sound are going to be very interested in the new Sportsman's Warehouse store opening up next week in Everett. We'll tell you more about the soft opening and the big grand opening at the bottom of the hour. What else do we have for you? The same thing we have for you every week when we kick off this show. The latest on what's hot and what's not here in the Pacific Northwest. We finally got some good news on the Columbia River, where 10,000 spring Chinook crossed Bonneville over a 2-day span last weekend, giving hope to some that the run is merely late as opposed to virtually non-existent. Despite this late run, I think most folks will agree the spring Chinook run has been a bust so far. However, if you can't catch and keep salmon, you can at least catch and keep sturgeon again, something anglers have not been able to do for quite some time on the Columbia River with any frequency. One place you can do so now is Lake Roosevelt on the Upper Columbia. Starting today, you can keep 1 sturgeon a day and 2 per year, measuring between 38 and 63 inches from tail to fork. That's just over 3 to 5 plus feet of fish there. Another place you can catch and keep sturgeon is on the Columbia near Desert Air, Vantage, and Crescent Bar. In the Priest Rapids Dam and Wanapum Dam reservoirs, you can keep not 1, but 2 sturgeon a day, measuring 38 to 72 inches from tail to fork, and there's no annual limit. Check the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife website and news release section for additional information about these 2 fisheries. Checking the saltwater action around the Sound, I can tell you it was a real flatfish show near Tacoma last weekend. At least that's about all that was being checked by creel checkers in any significant numbers around Tacoma and Olympia. Heading further north in the Sound, Nick Kester with All-Star Fishing Charters out of Seattle and Everett has been showing off some very nice lingcod on Facebook they caught last weekend. And in case you were wondering how the Lake Stevens Kokanee Derby turned out last weekend, I think it would be fair to say pretty darn good. 186 anglers took part in the one-day derby in Snohomish County on the 20th. When it came to daily limits, Marcilla Richardson was the winner with a 10-fish haul weighing 6.86 pounds. This just, and I mean just, edged out the second and third place finishers Jeff Mastro and Jason Hudgens. The adult big fish winner was John Moss from Snohomish, who took home a $1,000 check with a 1+ pound Coke, and the second place winner, netting $500, was Daniel Hoyt from Lake Stevens. In the youth division, the winner was Alex Davis, who weighed in a very nice kokanee weighing about 0.8 pounds. Proceeds from the Derby benefits the local Lions Club and the Snohomish Sportsman's Club. Be sure to participate next May. And with that, you now know what's hot here in the Pacific Northwest.
And with that, let's head to this week's national edition of America Outdoors Radio.
Garibaldi Charters offers fantastic fishing for salmon, tuna, halibut, and bottomfish off the North Oregon coast. With only an hour-and-a-half drive from Beaverton, you can get here in a hurry and go fishing. 2 of our more popular offerings include private charters for salmon and live bait tuna fishing. We can also accommodate groups of up to 20 people on our boats. Book your adventure now at GaribaldiCharters.com or call 1-800-900-HOOK. That's 1-800-900-HOOK or GaribaldiCharters.com.
We're talking to Mike Meisberg at Mardon Resort today about one of the big reasons you'll want to stay at Potholes Reservoir in sunny Eastern Washington this spring. What's the big deal, Mike?
We have over 50 sheep lakes below Sullivan Dam for trout, perch, crappie, and bass in the spring, while Potholes Reservoir is a bass and walleye fisherman's mecca.
There you have it. Great fishing under sunny skies. Find out more at MardonResort.com. That's Mardon Resort, where the fish bite, but we don't.
It's time for America Outdoors Radio, the show that covers the outdoor scene across the U.S. of A. and the entire continent. Fishing, hunting, conservation, outdoor recreation, and great destinations. We cover it all every week. It's your country, your outdoors. Let's explore it together with your host, John Cruz.
Welcome to the show. I know a lot of you are camping and fishing this weekend, but get your fishing poles and get ready to fish for free during the next couple of weeks, because free fishing days are coming up in a number of states within our listening area, to include Wyoming, which has a free fishing day, no license required, on June 3rd. The same applies in Oregon on both the 3rd and the 4th, and in Nevada, Tennessee, Utah, and Idaho on June 10th. Washington State has free fishing days on both the 10th and the 11th, as does Montana, with 2 free fishing days on the 17th and 18th. California, you gotta wait till July 1st, though. And Alaska, no free fishing days for you. Why are free fishing days important to our sport? Well, 3 reasons. Number 1, it's a great opportunity to introduce a new angler to the sport who's never bought a fishing license before, may not even know how to fish. You can mentor them and show them how much fun it is. Number 2, you can reacquaint lapsed anglers who haven't fished for quite some time and haven't bought a license either. Show them again how much fun fishing really can be and what a wonderful way it is to relax. And if you live close to another state, this is the perfect weekend to go to that other state and enjoy their free fishing weekend for free. No out-of-state license required. You can find out more and find a free fishing day near you at takemefishing.org. This week on the show, it's Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be telling you about a couple of organizations dedicated to getting soldiers and veterans out on the water and into the field. One of them is a very fast-growing organization called Project Healing Waters, which uses the art and passion of fly fishing as a means of helping our wounded warriors heal. Another organization doing similar work in the field through hunting is Outdoors for Our Heroes. We'll be talking to the founder of this nonprofit organization, Jason Brown, who will tell you more about what they do. In addition to this, we are taking you to Alaska again. This is rough country, and the way I figure it, if we can have local experts there tell you about boats and ATVs that work in the last frontier, you'll have a pretty good idea about what's going to work for you just about anywhere else in the world. With that in mind, we'll be talking to Chet Powell with Bay Company. He's been selling boats, motors, and ATVs from 2 locations in southeast Alaska, and he'll tell you about his latest dealership opening up in a 3rd town there. Staying in Alaska, you know that famous summer fishing on both the Kenai and Russian rivers is going off soon, and we have found the perfect place to make your base camp while you are angling up there, or hiking, or just exploring and taking in what Alaska has to offer. It's called Gwynn's Lodge, and this historic roadhouse has lodging, food, and a store with everything you'll need for your Alaskan adventure. It is the perfect base camp. We've got news stories for you about the oldest bull elk I've ever heard of, a ranking of the best scenting dogs out there for you hunters, and a conversation with Cole Joliffe, the owner of Deadshot Barrels, who makes some tricked-out barrels for your AR rifles and FN SCAR rifles that will make them very accurate indeed. But before we tell you about rifle barrels, Alaskan base camps, and some tough ATVs, let's salute our soldiers and veterans. Next on this Memorial Day weekend edition of America Outdoors Radio, we're talking to Jerry Griffin. He is the Rocky Mountain Northwest Regional Coordinator for Project Healing Waters, an organization that works with veterans to literally get them out on the water as a means of therapy through fly fishing, of all things. Jerry, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, Jerry, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about Project Healing Waters and the veterans that you serve?
Well, Project Healing Waters fly fishing began in 2005 by serving wounded military service members at Walter Reed Army Medical Center who were returning from combat in Iraq and Afghanistan. Since then, our Project Healing Waters has expanded nationwide. We've established a highly successful program in the Department of Defense hospitals, warrior transition units, and Veterans Affairs medical centers, clinics, and outreach centers. And at Project Healing Waters, we are dedicated to the physical and emotional rehabilitation of disabled active military service personnel and disabled veterans through fly fishing and associated activities, including, like you said, education and fly fishing outings. We do serve all veterans as long as they have out-processed through the VA system and hold a valid VA ID card. They do not need to be combat-related injuries, and we serve both men and women.
Jerry, I had no idea that your organization was so young because it does have such a strong national footprint. I can't believe this has come together and become so big so fast. How many folks participate in terms of volunteers and chapters when it comes to Project Healing Waters? And if you don't have an idea, I understand.
No, I do have that information. We have about 4,000 Project Healing Waters volunteers in 2016 who donated over 200,000 hours, and we had about 8,000 participants, disabled vets and disabled military service personnel, participating in our activities. And it's an organization that currently has about 200 programs nationwide, as well as 2 programs in Canada and Australia, and another program in Germany.
That is amazing. But let's go ahead and focus on what you're doing in the Inland Northwest. Now, your territory, so to speak, encompasses everything from Spokane through Idaho to Montana. Is that pretty much your service area where you work?
Yes, I'm responsible for the Rocky Mountain Northwest region, which you said is Montana and Idaho. Since I live close here to Spokane, near the Coeur d'Alene area, I was able to get Spokane to come under my region. We have 4 active programs right now. In Montana, we have Great Falls and Helena. We're also seeking volunteers to start up new programs in Missoula and Billings, as well as a new volunteer program lead to continue a Bozeman program that has just recently lost its program lead. In Idaho, we have programs in Boise and Sun Valley, and then the Spokane program serves both Coeur d'Alene, Spokane Valley, and the Spokane region.
All of the places that you mentioned are meccas for many when it comes to fly fishing, great locations to run Project Healing Waters from. Tell me about some of the events that you put on for the veterans and service members in your service area.
Well, we have lots of fly fishing events that we do during the year, starting in the spring, all through summer and fall. We take lots of trips to local rivers and lakes. In Montana, we do quite a few of our trips on the Missouri River, on the Gallatin, and the Madison Rivers. And in Spokane here, the Spokane region, in Idaho, we do a lot of the rivers, lakes, Coeur d'Alene River. We do the Boise River down in Boise. And then all the southern rivers along the Fly Highway, Highway 20, through Idaho.
Well, I can imagine few better ways to reconnect with nature and to put away those demons and those injuries and those bad thoughts than spending a day on the water fly fishing, especially with some mentors from Project Healing Waters. How can folks find out more about Project Healing Waters? Is there a website we can direct them to? So if they're a participant, they can go ahead and find out about how to sign up, or if they want to volunteer, how they can find out about that?
Absolutely. We have our national website. It is at projecthealingwaters.org, all one word. And you can click on programs to find a local program near you. And when you do that, it will also bring up contact information for both the regional coordinators and the local program leads, all their email addresses, and sometimes some cell phone numbers.
Project Healing Waters, helping our veterans through fly fishing. Find out more at projecthealingwaters.org. Check out a local chapter near you. They will be glad to have you on board. The website again, projecthealingwaters.org. Jerry, thanks for sharing this with us, and thanks for doing what you do.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here again.
Do you want to have an easier and better fishing and boating experience? Are you tired of struggling with your anchor? Then you need the Lee-Lock Anchor System. The versatile Lee-Lock system allows you to quickly and easily change Lee-Lock accessories depending on fishing and boating needs. Whether you're fishing lakes, rivers, or the ocean, Lee-Lock has a solution for you. Go to Leelock.com or visit your local boating store.
Hughes Craft is the Pacific Northwest best-selling boat. It's a family fishing boat that has been providing the most safety, fishability, and the best value to Northwest boaters since 1948. Hughes Craft's welded aluminum boats are built for serious fishermen with plenty of room for fighting fish, not the rest of the crew. Our state-of-the-art design allows for pure fishing functionality and the durability to last season after season, year after year, and decade after decade. To find the Hughes Craft dealer nearest you, visit HughesCraft.com.
Rad Power Bikes is an electric bike manufacturer offering direct-to-consumer pricing on powerful premium electric bikes. Because they sell direct to you, the consumer, you won't see the large retail markup that would be present if you were buying from a third party or a dealer, ensuring you're always getting a performance e-bike at a fraction of the cost. Visit radpowerbikes.com or call 1-800-939-0310 to learn more about their models or to place an order. Join Rad Power Bikes in jump-starting the electric bike revolution today.
Planning to head outdoors today? The National Shooting Sports Foundation reminds you to check the fire danger levels in your area. Whether target shooting, camping, or even parking a car with a hot exhaust, remember to take precautions. If you're going shooting in dry conditions, minimize the possible risk of fire by not using steel-jacketed or steel core ammunition, tracer rounds, or exploding targets. As we know, wildfires have many possible causes. Don't be one of them.
Service is always cheaper than repair. That's a truism from Ken Estes at Cascade Marine Center in Portland, Oregon. Go ahead and drop by and see Cascade Marine for all of the parts, accessories, and honest advice you need to keep your boat and motor running. No one wants to be the guy plugging the boat ramp up because his boat doesn't start. So head down to Cascade Marine Center in Portland or give them a call or check out their website at cascademarinecenter.com.
Looking for the safest, most stable riding boat on the market? Welcome to Stabicraft. Born in New Zealand, Stabicraft has a built-in reputation for making the most seaworthy boats on the market. Heavy-gauge aluminum chambered boats with models ranging from 14 to 29 feet in a variety of configurations to suit all your needs. Check out the all-new 2750 center cab, a walk-around design for the Northwest market and packed with industry-leading features to suit all types of fishing, allowing you to adventure with confidence. Book a test ride today at stabicraft.com.
Is Alaska calling you? Come see Alaska firsthand in 2017. Gwynn's Lodge and Roadhouse is world famous with great fishing and hiking in the adjacent Kenai and Russian rivers. Reasonable rates and multi-night discounts you can book direct right online at gwynslodge.com. Central Kenai Peninsula makes it easy to see the whole Kenai without having to move. Historic restaurant on site and live music Saturday nights in Quinn's Pavilion. Book now at gwinslodge.com. gwynslodge.com.
Are you an outfitter, sporting goods retailer, boat dealer, or someone else in the outdoors industry? If you are, you know targeted advertising works best, and what would work better than advertising with America Outdoors Radio? Our hour-long show is heard throughout Seattle, Everett, and the East Side every Saturday morning, and your message will be heard there too. Better still, our rates are way more affordable than you think. Want to find out more? Contact me, John Cruz, through my website at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. That's America Outdoors Radio, bringing you more business. You're back with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. This portion of the show is brought to you by the Alaska Sporting Journal, covering the hunting, fishing, and adventure scene throughout the great state of Alaska. Look for it on a newsstand near you. Speaking of the last frontier, we are heading to the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska, and specifically we're going to Gwynn's Lodge to talk to the owner, Keith Manti. Keith, welcome to the show.
Thank you, John.
So, Keith, Gwynn's Lodge, you're located right in the middle of Alaska's Kenai Peninsula, and when it comes to that old real estate adage, location, 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 you've really got it when it comes to fishermen and why they're coming there, don't you?
Yes, it's fantastic. You can do everything here on the Kenai Peninsula. You don't really need to move rooms.
and you can get to Seward in about an hour, and Homer in about 2 hours. So once you check in, you can do everything on the Kenai Peninsula right here, and you don't necessarily even have to leave the Cooper Landing area. It has such great hiking and fishing with the Russian River and Kenai River confluence right here.
Well, the Russian River and the Kenai River in particular, when it comes to salmon fishing, I know that's a huge, huge attraction for anglers all over North America. How are the runs looking this year? Are they going to be pretty good?
They're expected to be very good. This first run's supposed to be excellent. I haven't heard on the second run yet, but generally here it starts June 10th and goes into July, and the second run really picks up about mid-July through the first week of August.
Well, let's talk about Gwynn's Lodge as a base camp for anglers fishing the Kenai and the Russian River. And we'll start off with your lodging. What do you offer there?
We have 15 cabins. 2 of them are divided, so there's 17 rentals total. They're affordable. They're in the $150 to $275 price range, which is about half of what it is up north near Denali.
Well, that is fantastic. And not only that, you basically have a roadhouse situation set up there. So not only do you have lodging, you've got a restaurant too. And I'll tell you what, after a long day of fishing, the last thing I want to do is come home and cook. Tell our listeners some of the specialties you offer at your restaurant.
Yes, it's a historic roadhouse founded in 1952. Gwynn's Lodge has our famous smoked salmon chowder, carrot cake, and great burgers.
Well, that does it for me, and I understand you've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, too.
Typically, we're open 6 a.m. to near midnight, so we're convenient.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, that should cover just about all of the meals you need. But wait, as they say, there's more, because in addition to lodging, in addition to a restaurant, you've also got a store there, and you've got fishing tackle, and I'm guessing some advice and the latest fishing reports, too.
Yes, and you can pick up your fishing license as you come in and pick up your Russian River flies.
Well, Keith, you've got me sold. Why don't we give folks the website to Gwynn's Lodge so they can book a stay with you while fishing the Kenai River and the Russian River for salmon this summer and next summer as well.
It's gwynslodge.com. You can book direct. GWINSLOGGE.com.
The website again is gwynslodge.com. That's GWINS lodge.com. Log in now and book your stay and have your very own Alaska adventure on the Kenai Peninsula. Keith, thanks for telling us all about this on America Outdoors Radio.
Thanks, John. We look forward to you staying.
Next on America Outdoors Radio, we're sticking in Alaska, but southeast Alaska. We're checking in with Chet Powell. He's the owner of the Bay Company. He has locations in Wrangell, in Craig, and a brand new one as well. Chet, welcome to the show. And where's the new dealership opening up where you're selling ATVs and boats?
Yeah, so we've got a location in Wrangell, Craig, and we've opened a new location in Ketchikan, Alaska.
Well, fantastic news. Good for you. Got to ask a question. I'm always intrigued by trying to get the roughest and toughest stuff and how boats and ATVs survive in Alaska, which I consider to be the roughest and toughest territory you're going to operate these machines in. When it comes to boats, you do a lot of repairs, you do a lot of service. What are some of the more common issues you see when it comes to boat repairs?
You know, the bulk of our business is in maintenance. But we do see a lot of impact damages, guys either running aground, hitting logs, stuff like that, and that's where a big chunk of our repairs come from. And we do a big repower business as far as repowering. And, you know, we'll take out a stern drive and we'll do a transom job and hang brand new outboards on and do a complete repower.
Interesting. And I'm guessing when it comes to the repowering, 90% of these people are looking for more power, not less.
Pretty much. They're trying to take a boat that, you know, that they've had for years and get rid of something that hasn't been as reliable, and we'll go in there and pull that out. And, you know, most of the time we'll go up in horsepower just to get more, you know, fuel efficiency and a better performing boat.
Let's turn our attention to the ATVs that you sell and service. What kind of crowd are you selling your ATVs to? Are these hunters or are these commercial operators?
Well, our ATV business is mainly sold to guys just recreational riding, using them for hunting, either hunting deer or bear in the recreational side. And then we do sell to commercial guys. We sell a few units every year to the commercial tree thinners, and they use them pretty hard. It's a vehicle for most of these guys on all the logging roads and stuff that's not accessible by a conventional vehicle.
Oh, absolutely. And folks, if you're not familiar with Southeast Alaska, lots of forests, lots of rain, lots of mud and muck. What is your best-selling line of ATVs that you would recommend for this sort of country?
Well, our bestseller overall is always in the 5 to 550 range in the big frame Arctic Cat. We've done pretty good with that unit, and it's pretty much bomb-proof. It does a really good job, and the guys can beat them all up, and they just keep on going.
Last question for you. For folks who are planning a trip to Southeast Alaska, whether it be Wrangell, whether it be Craig, or whether it be Ketchikan, is there a website where they can find out more before they come visit your neck of the woods and drop by one of your dealerships?
Well, they could go to our website, which is baycompany.com. We don't have a lot of links on there for charter outfits or anything, but if they were to Google sport fishing Southeast Alaska, every lodge in Southeast Alaska is going to come up, and they'd be able to get some great information as far as to come up and go sport fishing and that type of activity.
So that is baycompany.com. And folks, I know some of you listening today are actually charter boat captains that actually work up in Southeast Alaska. Others of you work in Southeast Alaska for other reasons as well. And if you need an ATV, if you need maintenance on your boat or repairs, consider the Bay Company. Again, locations in Wrangell, in Craig, in Ketchikan. The website is baycompany.com. Chet, thanks for spending some time with us and weighing in on what works in the last frontier on America Outdoors Radio.
All right. Thank you, John.
Is Alaska calling you? Come see Alaska firsthand in 2017. Gwynn's Lodge and Roadhouse is world famous with great fishing and hiking in the adjacent Kenai and Russian rivers. Reasonable rates and multi-night discounts you can book direct right online at gwynslodge.com. Central Kenai Peninsula makes it easy to see the whole Kenai without having to move. Historic restaurant on site and live music Saturday nights in Quinn's Pavilion. Book now at gwinslodge.com. gwynslodge.com.
The Caddis Game Changer breathable waders are going to change the way you fish. You've always counted on Caddis waders to keep you warm and dry through the years, and Caddis never lets you down. Now comes the Game Changer. It's the same tough durability and the addition of a zippered hard pouch pocket that opens up to become a work shelf. Now you can change accessories on the water for maximum flexibility. Look for Caddis Game Changer breathable waders wherever quality fishing products are sold or online at caddiswaders.com.
Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, a nationwide group working to keep public lands in public hands so future generations can enjoy what we enjoy. Join the group that makes a difference. Check us out at backcountryhunters.org.
It's time for another local shot of the outdoors. It's the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio, and you'll only hear it here on Fox Sports 1380 KRKO.
We've got big news for all of you who live in the North Sound. A new Sportsman's Warehouse store is opening next Saturday, June 2nd, in Everett. You'll find it at 505 Everett Mall Parkway Southeast, just right off of Interstate 5. And this will be the 10th store Sportsman's Warehouse is opened up in Washington State, and it's actually one of 85 stores. This chain, known as America's Premier Outfitter, is now operating in 22 states around the country, primarily in the western United States. Sportsman's Warehouse stores have plenty of hunting and fishing gear, but they've got a lot more than that too. If you're looking for clothing apparel, if you're looking for boots, if you're looking for optics, if you're looking for kayaks, for canoes, for outdoor cooking wear, tents, sleeping bags, and about anything else you'll need for the outdoors, Sportsman's Warehouse is the place to be, and this store is going to have all that and more. So June 2nd, again, is the soft opening, but the grand opening is going to take place on June 8th. Now, I don't have the details of exactly when the store is going to be open, but I know you'll want to be there early because typically, and I can't say it's going to happen for this store, but typically the first couple of hundred people in line when the store opens get some really nice prizes when they walk through the door. And typically during a grand opening, not only are there some great sales and great deals, but there's usually a chance to win one or more gift cards valued at up to $500. You can find out more about Sportsman's Warehouse by going to their website. It's sportsmanswarehouse.com. In the meantime, plan on being at 505 Southeast Everett Mall Way on June 2nd for the soft opening and June 8th for the grand opening of the new Sportsman's Warehouse store.
There's a whole bunch more of the great outdoors coming your way on Fox Sports 1380.
Backcountry hunters and anglers, the men and women working hard to keep public lands in public hands. Check us out at backcountryhunters.org.
Are you an outfitter, sporting goods retailer, boat dealer, or someone else in the outdoors industry? If you are, you know targeted advertising works best, and what would work better than advertising with America Outdoors Radio? Our hour-long show is heard throughout Seattle, Everett, and the East Side every Saturday morning, and your message will be heard there too. Better still, our rates are way more affordable than you think. Want to find out more? Contact me, John Cruz, through my website at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. That's America Outdoors Radio, bringing you more business. You're back for our Memorial Day weekend edition of America Outdoors Radio, and this portion of the show is brought to you by the American Shooting Journal. It covers the firearms and shooting sports scene throughout North America. Look for it at a newsstand near you. This being Memorial Day weekend, we thought it would be appropriate to tell you about a veterans group that is working to get veterans outdoors as a way to heal. One such group that's doing that is Outdoors for Our Heroes. The founder of that organization, Jason Brown, is with us today. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, Jason, briefly tell our listeners what's Outdoors for Our Heroes all about. What does your organization do?
Outdoors for Our Heroes is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that takes service-connected disabled vet out on quality outdoor experiences. We provide full financial support, the logistics, accommodations, guide support, and resources so they can achieve the greatest hunt possible.
Let's talk about this a little bit more in terms of who's involved. You said service-connected disabilities. Does this apply to service members all the way from Vietnam to present day?
It does. In fact, we just had one of our Vietnam service-connected disabled veterans apply for an elk hunt. He was in a wheelchair. So we don't delineate between what conflict. Any conflict or service-connected disabled veteran is eligible for what we offer.
This is a great cause, and it's a great thing that you're doing. Why did you decide to start this nonprofit organization?
I had some traumatic events that left me wondering, what my place was in this world. And at some point, I was involved in what they call an evolution in leadership course. It was a 6-month-long leadership guidance service that my employer put me through. And in doing so, I was given a life coach for 6 months where we spoke several times a week. And somewhere along the line, we got to talking about what a legacy is and what my legacy would be if I had, my say in it. And through the coachings several times a week, we figured out what meant the most to me, and that was the outdoors and what it did for me as an individual and how it made me feel, what kind of therapeutic value I got out of it. And she asked me if I had the opportunity to do this for others, who would it be? And that was an easy no-brainer. It's our, service-connected disabled men and women. And somewhere along the line, she started giving me a little bit of assignments here and there, make phone calls, reach out to other people in like-minded organizations, and one thing led to another, and out of it came Outdoors for Our Heroes.
That's a great story, number one. Number two, whoever your life coach is, thank her on behalf of all the veterans out there that are benefiting from what you're doing now. You're located in Western Washington, so tell me about the area that you serve, the region you serve.
The region right now that we have outreach in is, of course, Western Washington, Northwest Washington itself, from all the way up from Canada down to Oregon. And then we do have some outreach into Eastern Washington, Cheney area, out towards Colville. And then we just started a relationship with some guide services in Idaho, Montana, and as of yesterday, we started down in Texas, starting to put together some events down there.
Well, that's great to hear, because we certainly have listeners in both Washington and Oregon and Idaho, and we've got them all the way down to Needles, California, and all the way up to Alaska. So great that you're doing some work and some service for folks that don't necessarily live right in Western Washington. Let's talk about some of the hunts you're offering this fall.
So last year we were able to take 12 disabled veterans out hunting. This year our goal is 24. We started with 2 turkey hunts this season already that both ended in success. We have an additional 2 pheasant hunts on private property out at Miller Ranch in Cheney, Washington. We've got 6 deer hunts in eastern Washington on private property, which is called the depredation hunt, that were handed to us by the landowner. We have an additional hunt in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho for elk. We've got one in Wise River, Montana. And then we work with another organization. It's a private duck club up in Monroe called Lord Hill Duck Club. And they've given us 10 waterfowl hunts on private duck club property this year. So that's where we're going to be focusing our attention to get all 24 of these hunts filled.
Number one, a shout out to all of those businesses and people that are donating these hunts. And by the way, folks, Miller Ranch over there by Sprague, Cheney in Eastern Washington, great place to go if you're after a fun pheasant hunt. And let's talk about how this works in terms of, we're going to talk about the application in a minute, but I want to talk about what the veteran has to bring forward. So they're going to apply for the hunt. Any out-of-pocket costs for them at all besides their hunting license?
Typically, no. Right now, depending on the locality, we include their license fees as well. So we'll reimburse the veterans for their application if they're successfully drawn, or if it's an over-the-counter tag, for the purchase of their license upon their arrival to the event. We pay for all the costs, everything from food, lodging, transportation, hunting services, ammunition. Basically, they show up and want for nothing other than to be there for a quality outdoor experience. There is an application process. It's on our website at www.outdoorsforourheroes.org under the applications page drop-down menu. And then it's an extensive application process that we ask that gets filled out. It's on an encrypted website. After we receive all the applicants for the 2017 season, our job as a board of our volunteers is to place the right hunter on the right activity. If we have a hunter that's mobilely challenged and we've got a high mountain elk hunt that takes rigorous hiking, obviously that wouldn't be, the best opportunity for that particular individual. So we, as a board, kind of broker what the best choice is for each individual hunter. And then after that, we run through the remaining process of vetting out how many people we have for each individual hunt. And then we call each one of those individuals and find out if they're available for the date. And once we go through that process, then if we have multiple applicants that are available on the same date for that same event, we go through a random generator and we call each one and say, you're number 1, 2, 3. And then the random generator picks a number, and then that's how we go through our application process.
Sounds more than fair to me. One more thing I want to talk about here. Well, actually, 2 things. Number 1, how many people work for Outdoors for Our Heroes at this point?
So we got 7 volunteer board members, along with 3 volunteer guide services that currently are part of our organization. So we're a small volunteer group. Our mission is to stay at a 90% of all of our proceeds go to fund the veteran hunts, and 10% is reserved for overhead.
All right, and I am more than willing to give a shout out to those guide services that are offering these hunts. Who are they?
We have Wendell Guide Service out of Quinault. They've donated some bear hunts. Okanagan Valley Guide Service. Jared Gibbons has worked with us for some mule deer hunts for the 2017 year. Foul Intentions, Blake Berry is taking our waterfowl hunters up on Lord Hill Duck Club. And then we've got another gentleman by the name of Pat Murphy of Northwest Performance Dogs, who seems to get us a lot of private land access for some of our waterfowl hunts and upland game birds.
Well, I know a few of these gentlemen, and they are good folks indeed, and knowing this, they're even better folks in my mind. Last but not least, for our listeners out there, if they are veterans with service-connected disabilities, if they are people who want to donate to help you put together these hunts, or if they are maybe guides or outfitters or folks that own bed and breakfast or resorts that want to host your stay, do we send them to your website?
You can send them to our website, or they can reach out directly to my email at jason@outdoorsforourheroes.org, and be happy to talk to anybody that wants to get involved. There's many, many different ways you can get involved, everything from donating private land access to hosting a hunt itself, financial aspect. There's many, many, many ways that we would like people to get involved.
That email again is jason@outdoorsforourheroes.org. That's Jason Brown you'll be reaching, the founder of Outdoors for Our Heroes. And the email again is jason@outdoorsforourheroes.org. And go to the website. It's outdoorsforourheroes.org. Jason, thanks for everything you and your board and your volunteer guides are doing. It's a great cause, and I'm glad we could talk about it during this Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you, John, for having us. We appreciate you.
We at DIP Inc. manufacture high-quality, useful products for your modern rimfire needs. We specialize in quality aluminum parts. Replace your junky plastic parts with our special custom-made in the USA products. Visit us at DIP Inc. for all your rimfire needs. Find out more at DIProductsinc.com. That's DIProductsinc.com. Your rimfire specialists.
Garibaldi Charters offers fantastic fishing for salmon, tuna, halibut, and bottomfish off the North Oregon coast. With only an hour-and-a-half drive from Beaverton, you can get here in a hurry and go fishing. Two of our more popular offerings include private charters for salmon and live bait tuna fishing. We can also accommodate groups of up to 20 people on our boats. Book your adventure now at GaribaldiCharters.com or call 1-800-900-HOOK. That's 1-800-900-HOOK or GaribaldiCharters.com.
Tillamook Bay is considered the greatest fishing experience on the west coast for fall Chinook salmon and winter steelhead, and Dungeness crab is plentiful. 5 major rivers connect with the ocean on the Tillamook coast. It's not unusual to snag a 40 to 50 pounder. Go out in a boat or stand on a riverbank or dock. Try fishing from a dory boat and experience the thrill of a beach launch and landing. Use spinners, sand shrimp, or salmon eggs to lure them. The fish will line up to grab your bait. Go to tillamookcoast.com/fishing to find guides and places to stay.
Service is always cheaper than repair. That's a truism from Ken Estes at Cascade Marine Center in Portland, Oregon. Go ahead and drop by and see Cascade Marine for all of the parts, accessories, and honest advice you need to keep your boat and motor running. No one wants to be the guy plugging the boat ramp up because his boat doesn't start. So head down to Cascade Marine Center in Portland or give them a call or check out their website at cascademarinecenter.com.
If you consider yourself a hardcore fisherman who takes pride in being the first person on the water and the last one off, Fish Fighter products were designed for you. We make products for the relentless fishermen who know that big fish are caught by those who put in the work. With our Relentless Series tackle trays, rocket launcher rod racks, and breakaway river anchors, you'll spend more time chasing the fish, not your gear. Designed and built right here in the USA, Fish Fighter products won't let you down. Gear up at fishfighterproducts.com.
Deadshot barrels are built using the best techniques and materials to produce the highest level of accuracy for your AR or FN platform rifle. Deadshot Barrels is one of the few companies offering machined comps and ports in barrels, and the only company offering barrels for SCAR rifles. Our niche is helping people order whatever barrel they want, and we offer the fastest turnaround time for custom-ordered barrels. Find out more at deadshotbarrels.com. Deadshot Barrels, building the rifle barrel you need when accuracy counts.
Welcome back to America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. This portion of the show is brought to you by the American Shooting Journal. It is the monthly publication that covers the firearms and shooting scene throughout North America. Look for a copy at a newsstand near you. Speaking of firearms, we're talking to Cole Joliffe. He is the owner of Deadshot Barrels out of Terrebonne, Oregon. Cole, welcome to the show.
Hi.
So, Cole, you make barrels for tactical rifles. What kind of tactical rifles in particular? Are we talking AR rifle platforms?
AR-15, AR-10, and SCAR-17.
All right, the SCAR-17, not everybody's familiar with that. I think everyone knows about AR platform rifles in terms of the AR-15, the AR-10. But the SCAR, that's by Fabrique Nationale, right?
Yes.
So FN is a Belgian company, but they also have quite a few of their operations in the USA too, don't they?
Yes.
Okay, so how are your rifle barrels different than what the AR manufacturers like Colt and Bushmaster or FN is making for their SCAR rifles?
I have more options available than what they offer. The SCAR only comes in a 308, 1 in 12 twist, and I can offer 5R, 1 in 10, and 1 in 8 twist options with additional length, with a better gas block for a larger profile.
All right, so for the layman out there, why does that matter?
It's a more accurate barrel.
That's what matters. All right, that sums it up perfectly. So I get that for the SCAR. What about the AR-15? I mean, there's a lot of folks making rifle barrels for AR-15s. How is yours different?
They can go on our website and they can pick all the options they want and order the exact barrel they want.
So in terms of the people that order from you, what are some of the more popular items they're ordering from you when it comes to, I want this option on my rifle barrel?
One of the options we offer are machined comps, which for the states that don't allow threaded rifle barrels on semi-autos, I believe California and New York, they can order a barrel from me and I can machine the comp out of the barrel. Now, they never have a threaded barrel on their semi-auto. That's popular with those two states. Or if they're building a 16-inch barrel, instead of doing a pin and weld, having a machined comp is a cleaner and cheaper version to achieve 16 inches overall.
So you actually done some testing to see how your rifle barrels are more accurate than what the manufacturers are putting on them?
I haven't had much time for testing. Customer feedback has been that a lot of my barrels have outperformed other manufacturers. The Bushmasters are holding tighter groups than the original Bushmaster barrels.
Well, the customer is always right, as they say. Next question for you. I know you're in Terrebonne. Is that where you're manufacturing these rifle barrels?
Yes.
And how many people work with you? Are you a one-man operation, or do you have a few folks that are working there at Deadshot Barrels?
At this time, it's just me.
Impressive. Okay. So you basically are a custom rifle barrel maker. We're basically talking about the serious marksman here, the person that really wants to make sure they have the most accurate AR-15 rifle, the most accurate SCAR rifle. Those are the type of folks that are contacting you and getting barrels made by Deadshot Barrels, aren't they?
Yes, put out roughly 4,000 barrels.
4,000, that is impressive. All right, so for the person that wants to get the 4,001st barrel, where can folks buy them? Is there a website?
Deadshotbarrels.com.
Facebook too?
Yes.
And what's the Facebook page? Simply Deadshot Barrels?
Yes.
So, your choice. Go to Facebook, look for Deadshot Barrels, or go to the website deadshotbarrels.com. That's deadshotbarrels.com. Custom barrels with custom options to make your AR rifle or FN SCAR more accurate than it's ever been before. Look for them again at deadshotbarrels.com. Made in the USA, as a matter of fact, made in the great state of Oregon. Cole, thanks for telling us all about this on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you.
Turning to outdoors news, have you ever wondered what the lifespan of an elk is? I can tell you they pretty much have a dog's life, and that 1 year for an elk or a dog is about 7 years for us humans. This equates to a lifespan of 10 to 13 years in the wild for your average elk. That's why an elk found by Wyoming game and fish workers near Sheridan this winter was quite a find indeed. They had responded to the report of a sick elk in the area, but what they found was a very, very old bull elk whose incisors were so worn they were literally below the gums. A couple of those teeth were sent to the state lab, which determined the elk was about 18 and a half years old, or the human equivalent of 129 plus years of age. That is one old bull. Do you own a hunting dog? I do, and every hunter knows it's not a dog's eyesight, but its nose that picks up the scent of birds and game, which is a key factor in how good of a hunting dog you've got as a proud pet owner. Have you ever wondered how your canine stacks up against the other breeds? I did, and that's why I was drawn to an article by Kim Campbell Thornton in dogtime.com, which ranked the 10 top breeds for their scenting ability. Coming in at number 10 was the Pointer. Looks to be an English pointer from the picture, and number 9 was the German short-haired pointer. Number 8, which I thought would have ranked higher, was the Coonhound, and this covers all of the hound breeds from a blue tick to a trained walker. Number 7 is my breed of dog, the English Springer Spaniel. Mine is named Georgia, and she does love to put that nose of hers to the ground when we are in the field hunting birds. The Belgian Malinois, often seen working police, military, and security functions. They focus on other things besides birds and game. That breed comes in at number 6. The Labrador Retriever, arguably the most popular hunting breed in America and always one of the most popular dogs that pet owners love to have, comes in at number 5. Number 4, the German Shepherd, another familiar sight with our police and military, and for good reason. Number 3, the Beagle, of course, because you need a very good nose to sniff out a rabbit. And number 2, this one was a really big surprise to me, the Basset Hound. Don't see too many of those in the field, but they've got apparently quite the schnoz. Finally, your number 1 dog when it comes to picking up scent is a big dog with 300 million scent receptors, more than any other breed. It is, drum roll please, the Bloodhound. There you go. Now you know how your dog ranks, or doesn't rank, among the top 10 when it comes to the ability to scent. And last but not least, we've got news from the Bassmaster Tournament Trail, where Brandon Polinook from Hayden, Idaho, took home the first place trophy at the Toyota Bassmaster Texas Fest that took place in Lufkin, Texas last weekend. Now, it's not like Brandon Polinook has never won a Bassmaster Elite Series event before. Coming into this week, the 29-year-old pro had already claimed Elite Series trophies in 2012 and 2013 and came close to raising that win total with 3 other second-place finishes. But for an intense competitor with the nickname of the Prodigy, the 4-year victory drought was an itch he desperately needed to scratch, and he did it. Polinook caught 24 pounds, 7 ounces of bass on Wednesday's opening round, followed that up with 23 plus pounds of bass the second day and 24 pounds, 7 ounces the third day. He then caught 21 pounds and 12 ounces of bass on Championship Sunday, beating back a challenge by California pro Brent Erler, beating him for the win by 2 pounds. Polinook's total was 93 pounds, 12 ounces of bass caught over 4 days. And Polinook earned a $100,000 first place prize and an automatic berth into the 2018 Geico Bassmaster Classic. Way to go, Brandon. I've had a chance to interview him before. He's actually a really nice, down-to-earth guy from a place in Idaho you wouldn't expect one of the top bass pros in the world to be from. After all, everyone knows you're supposed to be fishing for trout in Idaho, not bass. Well, nobody ever told that to Brandon. We've got to go, but if you get a chance, go to our website, AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. We've got a Facebook page, too, at America Outdoors Radio. Like our page and follow our news there. If you want to hear our show, you can generally hear it at both those places I just told you about. You can also hear it on the WRVO Radio Network. You'll find that internet network at RenoViolaOutdoors.com. This being Memorial Day weekend, I know a lot of you are camping and fishing, and I hope you're having fun doing so, and that it's just the first of many summer adventures to come. I hope you'll also join me in saluting our veterans and those that serve in our armed forces to protect our freedoms and give us the country that we enjoy living in. Thanks to a salute as well to the families who have lost loved ones in the service of this country. Memorial Day is not just about camping and the opening of summer fun. No, it's about a lot more than that. It's about remembering these folks too and giving thanks. Here's hoping the good Lord blesses you in the week ahead. And remember, it's your country and your outdoors.
Deadshot barrels are built using the best techniques and materials to produce the highest level of accuracy for your AR or FN platform rifle. Deadshot Barrels is one of the few companies offering machined comps and ports in barrels, and the only company offering barrels for SCAR rifles. Our niche is helping people order whatever barrel they want, and we offer the fastest turnaround time for custom-ordered barrels. Find out more at DeadshotBarrels.com. Deadshot Barrels, building the rifle barrel you need when accuracy counts.
Rad Power Bikes is an electric bike manufacturer offering direct-to-consumer pricing on powerful premium electric bikes. Because they sell direct to you, the consumer, you won't see the large retail markup that would be present if you were buying from a third party or a dealer, ensuring you're always getting a performance e-bike at a fraction of the cost. Visit radpowerbikes.com or call 1-800-939-0310 to learn more about their models or to place an order. Join Rad Power Bikes in jump-starting the electric bike revolution today.
We're talking to Mike Meisberg at Mardon Resort today about one of the big reasons you'll want to stay at Potholes Reservoir in sunny eastern Washington this spring. What's the big deal, Mike?
We have over 50 sheep lakes below Sullivan Dam for trout, perch, crappie, and bass in the spring, while Potholes Reservoir is a bass and walleye fisherman's mecca.
There you have it. Great fishing under sunny skies. Find out more at MardonResort.com. That's Mardon Resort, where the fish bite, but we don't.
Do you want to have an easier and better fishing and boating experience? Are you tired of struggling with your anchor? Then you need the Lee-Lock Anchor System. The versatile Lee-Lock system allows you to quickly and easily change Lee-Lock accessories depending on fishing and boating needs. Whether you're fishing lakes, rivers, or the ocean, Lee-Lock has a solution for you. Go to Leelock.com or visit your local boating store.
Hey everybody, school together for a fish perspective, huh? Hey, where are y'all going?
Dad, we're not moving, you are!
Brad, come back here this second!
Dad, you're in a rip current! Swim parallel to the shore!
A rip what?
Rip currents can appear anywhere along the Oregon coast. Remember to swim parallel to the shoreline and then back to shore. Fred was lucky. Alex knew what to do. Be aware of rip currents. Make sure your good times on the Oregon coast stay good times. Respect the beach.
Are you an outfitter, sporting goods retailer, boat dealer, or someone else in the outdoors industry? If you are, you know targeted advertising works best, and what would work better than advertising with America Outdoors Radio? Our hour-long show is heard throughout Seattle, Everett, and the East Side every Saturday morning, and your message will be heard there too. Better still, our rates are way more affordable than you think. Want to find out more? Contact me, John Cruz, through my website at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. That's America Outdoors Radio, bringing you more business.